Hello, divine beings. Hello, divine creators. Welcome to Dumela Universe. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a collective reading, and this reading is for soul partnership, is for a soul companion, and in a romantic sense. And we're going to start off by saying this is not for those who are already in a relationship. So if you're already in a relationship, if you're already partnered, this is not for you. This is for those who are single and who are available for a relationship, who feel that they are destined, or that they are wanting, or they are meant to have. There are many beings who feel that they do not wish to have a relationship, nor do they want to. And there are many beings who right now maybe, yes, they're not opposed to a relationship, but right now they're just not, it's not something they're interested in. And then, of course, there's some of you who are single and who are available, who are wanting, who are open to have a soul companion in a romantic sense. Now, this is not limited to monogamy or any human perspective of relationship. However you feel, okay, however you align with the understanding or the feeling in your frequency of companionship, and how and whatever shape that will look like. Okay, so whether you are maybe in a polygamous relation, or if you have a frequency, a wanting to discover polygamy, or to discover maybe to open up your sexual preference. So whatever that is, it's that is not it's not limited to any of that. The only frequency we feel is, or not limitation, almost like the only reference point we're feeling is that you are currently not in one and you are open to one. Okay, that is the best way we can specify who this is for. Okay. Right, let us see. We were quite tickled and surprised that Source asked us to bring this through, and we look forward to seeing what is available for all of you beautiful beings who are on this path. And this does feel like for you who are called here, who have really been on the spiritual path, doing the releasing, doing the purging, who have almost felt your sexuality or your sexual expression almost shut down, log off. You're not really feeling very sexual, you're not really feeling as much as you would like a relationship. When you see people, it's sort of like, oh, do I really want to start? And do I even have the energy to? And are they really there? And have they really, have they done the work? And it almost feels like, oh, we really want one, but do we really want to do the admin? Or do we really want to open up and trust only to have this person not do the work? It feels, Source is saying, you have done so much work on yourself. You have done so much work on yourself. You have released, you have purged, you have you have anchored Source, and you are ready to discover the Source you are, and you are excited for what's to come, and you are really looking forward to how everything is going to pan out. And you can feel within you that you are destined to have a partner or partners, but you are in a romantic sense, that soul connection, but you're just unsure as to how, or if it's really destined. Some of you might be feeling maybe not meant to have one as much as you would like one. You're thinking maybe you just need to, just get to the resolution that maybe you're not meant to have one. And then some of you are maybe thinking, but I don't feel that that energy, that oomph, that spice, that spark. And that's because only Source turns you on at this time. Isn't that true? You have done work to anchor in Source. So when someone is within Source, that's when they excite you. When the situation has Source awakening, that's when it excites you. When that person is anchored and the person has done that work, that's when it excites you. It doesn't have to be even in a romantic, sexual way. When you encounter someone who is doing the work and you can feel that co-creative Source energy connection, it excites you. Now you feel like having a conversation. Now you feel like diving in and having and chatting and discussing and seeing what this person, and it's just this beautiful happy energy, because now finally there's resonance, right? And you might be maybe seeing people you find attractive or energies that you find attractive, but that's it. It's like, oh, they look nice, but I just don't feel it. Or, yeah, no, we had a great conversation, but yeah, I just don't feel it. Or, and Source is saying we want to give some clarity as to that energy at this time. Source would like us to go into the understanding of polygamy or monogamy. For some of you might be wondering in terms of relations how that can work. And Source would like you to expand even further to understand that it's all about resonance and harmony within frequencies, right? You are whole in your own frequency, and the other person is whole. Let's use these crystals. You are whole in your frequency, and the other person is whole in their frequency, right? Look, you are pyrite, the other person is quartz, whole in their frequency, whole in your frequency. You don't need any of the quartz to be pyrite, they don't need any of the pyrite to be quartz. You have done the work to anchor in your frequency as Source. And yet when you are together, you create a whole new frequency. So you are complete on your own, and yet when you're together, you create a new frequency, and there's a new frequency which also feels even more complete. And not that you complete each other, no, you're complete on your own. It's just that the co-creative energy of pyrite with the co-creative energy of quartz creates a new frequency which feels whole and complete when you are together. And that is why you enjoy their company. They don't require you to change. They don't need any element of you. They're fine. They're pyrite. They don't need anything of quartz. The quartz doesn't need anything of pyrite. They're quartz. They're completely happy in their truth. And yet together, they create a whole new other dimension and frequency. One being pyrite, one being quartz, another being spirit quartz. Whole as pyrite, whole as quartz, whole as spirit quartz. Whole frequency. And yet, wow, whole frequency. So these three beings, their frequency creates a whole new frequency which feels balanced and aligned. When these two are together, a frequency balanced and aligned, still whole, happy. Balanced and aligned, still whole, happy. Balanced and aligned, still whole, happy. Some frequencies co-create like that, where they are in perfect harmony when they are three or more. And yet, there is no jealousy, there is no envy, there is a co-creative harmony. It is not a matter of greed that I'm not satisfied from one or the other, as some people think. No, it is simply that you are happy here, very happy as a collective, and yet when you meet this being, they're also surprised. Okay, why do I feel something with you? And then why do I feel something with you? And why do I feel something with both of you? This is odd. And they're like, we're so happy, we feel that. But the addition just adds something. It just, and again, it's not that you were needing this being to complete you. It is simply that when they are here, you create a whole new frequency, which you all really align to. Okay. So this isn't about a need to add more because you can't be satisfied. The key is, even without this person and without this other person, guess what? You are happy, you are whole, you are alone, and you are full within that frequency. That is the key ingredient. And that is where you are now, all of you. Okay. So that is why the partnering requires, what turns you on is someone who's at source, someone who's at source, someone who is whole in their frequency. This isn't to suggest that you are going to, those who are aligned to monogamy will now all of a sudden be polygamous. No, it is, we feel sources saying it's time that we release the judgment toward those who align in multiple frequency co-creation, because that is what that truly is. That energy and this energy and the third or fourth or fifth energies, when they're together, they create a harmony. A harmony which isn't toxic or disruptive. A harmony where each individual is still whole in their frequency. There is something about releasing of all ways, judgment towards all ways of being, which Source really wants to bring into a healing. We feel that perhaps some of you feel very strongly it has to be between two people. And Source is saying that very almost restricted view creates the codependency. And it creates friction. As opposed to, yes, you might very well be in a monogamous relationship, but you do not mind those who are in polygamy. There's no judgment there. And because there's no judgment there, it doesn't distort or cause friction between your monogamous relationship. There's the frequency of harmony and balance wishes to be free. And should you have a specific look or a specific way of seeing it, it distorts it, and also distorts it for your personal frequency, regardless of how you align to it. Interesting. Okay, very interesting. Us personally, as Kemet, we have always felt we would be in balance with within three beings. We do not know why. And we've had a relationship when we were three beings in the past, before our awakening. And we found such harmony and balance because there are too many people for one to form a codependency on. It was refreshing. I can't possibly take responsibility of both of your experiences, so I'm actually just gonna just not. And all of us just didn't take responsibility of the other ones, because it's one, you sort of can form that codependency, but with the third, that's so much work. So you just release it, and we really found balance and harmony, and we do not know whether we will gravitate or harmonize with one being or more, but we've never judged it, and we feel Source would like each and every single one of you to release your judgment on frequencies. It's to release the human conditioning of what they have made relationships, and to rather understand it's all about frequencies, and the frequencies co-creating together, because you're a frequency in a physical form. And frequencies don't judge. They're not singular and monogamous, and they're just resonance. They either resonate, and twos resonate singularly, resonate in threes, resonate in more. It's just all about resonance. Okay, we can begin. Interesting. That source really wanted to get that out of the way before we begin. Okay, right. Let us see what's coming through, beautiful beings. This is for single and open for soul connection in a romantic sense. At this time of your evolution, where you are grounded and anchored in source, not dependent on any external frequency for balancing, whole in self. Okay. At the center of the read, we have the Tower. There's going to be a bit of a shock, a surprise, a foundation shift. Maybe that's why Source brought on the information of, releasing monogamy, releasing the idea of what you think, because let's see. The center, we got the Tower. So what does this mean, Source? Let us see. Within, we have... Within, we have the King of Coins. Okay. Okay. Without, we have the Nine of Wands. Below, we have the Devil. Above, we have the High Priestess. Interesting. And below we have the Sun, the Ace of Coins, and just for interest's sake, we have the Magician and the Queen of Coins. Source says to release these, but as just a side message, yes, look, King and Queen of Coins, so lots of stability, receiving of your worth, receiving of your value, in your alchemy, in your power, in your magic, in your creation, receiving your manifestation, receiving your dream come true, receiving that which you've been wanting, and coming through. Source is saying you are, those of you who feel that you are aligned to a romantic partnership, you will receive it. You're going to receive it, and it'll be worth your value, worth your truth. And you have been creating this with Source. It's a manifestation come true. This energy, which is coming through sooner than you think. Fascinating. For there is work to be done together. Because you've released the need for the other to be, for you to do the work, you have allowed each other to be anchored in your frequencies. Now you can now be together while you are building your individual energies, while you are building your individual frequencies, while you are discovering your individual selves, and also co-create, because you're creating that new frequency. Okay. We're receiving multiple messages here. So we are going to bring them through as we see. The Tower. You're really not going to expect this person when they come in. It's going to be quite unexpected. Mirroring the High Priestess from the unknown. Okay. And Source is saying, you're going to be shocked, regardless of who you are and where you are. So, you trying to find someone, you trying to put yourself out there. Source is saying, yes, do what you feel. If you wish to push yourself out there, let it be inspired. Um, in any case, however you are, whether you are putting yourself out there or whether you are doing your work, inner work, or whether you are in this nature, whether you're in the city, whether you work at home, whether you work in the office space, wherever you are, when this person or people come into your life, it's a shock. It's a surprise. It's unexpected. It's unexpected. It's from the unknown. And you have not met this person before. New person. Okay. Ace of coins. Sources coming through quite clearly. This is a new person. It's not someone from your past. It's not someone you have known. It's a new person. And sources saying it's not even maybe someone you haven't met for 10 years and then they have gone through an awakening and now you meet them. So technically they're a new person. Not that. So it is literally you have never, ever seen this person in your life and they come out of the blue and you are going to feel exactly the same to them. And it's going to happen when you least expect it. So you might be thinking, oh, I'm going away this weekend with a group of people on a holiday. Maybe you'll meet them there. Sources saying you might literally, and you're leaving on Friday for this weekend away, and you're thinking, yeah, I'll be able to let my hair down, and I'll be able to go see this person, be out there, and now it's Tuesday, and you're thinking, okay, let me go and start, doing some shopping to prepare, and you literally meet them on the Tuesday while you're out doing groceries. It's sort of sources saying you will just when they come, they're gonna come, and they're not, and it's so there's no need for you to look. There's no need for you to put yourself out there in that sense. Yes, put yourself out there. Sources saying, let it be inspired. If you feel like going out, go out, but not with the intent of going out to meet someone, Not with the intent of, ooh, let me go to the beach. Maybe if I go to the beach, I'll be able to. Sources saying, no matter where you are, this person is destined, so you will align. You will align. It will happen. You can't miss them. They can't miss you. It's meant to be. It's destined. It's manifest. You will receive them. They will receive you. Just know this. Which is why the going out and when you see people, it's like, because when you see them, you will know. You will not be mistaken. Source is very strong here. You will be shooketh. You'll be very shocked, but you will not be mistaken by the fact that you are blown away. Neither will them. And it's not oh, I wonder if they like me. They will let you know, and you will let them know. You are not shy here. When you see them, it's like, and there is the attraction is okay. The devil frequency here isn't a negative. This is the mirror frequency. They mirror your worth. They mirror your value. They have done the work. They are stable, and they are spicy. They are hot. They are just like you. You're naughty. You are, you know that, yes, you are, this beautiful being, and people will say, oh, you're such an angel, such a beautiful being, you're so loving, and yes, that's all true, but you're also a freak, and they are too. There's no bound, there's no limitation to your sexual exploration, and you have now come to this place where you're so stable in source. You're wanting to explore more. You don't want to have a relationship with the limitations of human understanding. You want to connect to chakras when you're intimate. You want to expand into maybe tantra or into sexual dance, and you want to explore, you want to just really, there's a magic, there's a mystery, there's a sensuality, a divine feminine awakening where you're not judging or shaming the expression of your sexuality, your intimacy, your sensuality. You are just allowing all of the passion, there's a playfulness, there's a naughtiness, and it's not toxic. It's not poisonous. It's not damaging to you. It's not hurtful to you. It's a playful exploration, a passion which is healing and expanding and aligning. And yeah, we see there's a lot of things that maybe people would have thought is taboo, or in the past you would have thought is taboo, or you were conditioned that it's taboo. For you two, it's not, the intention of it isn't bad or evil or conniving. For example, the tarot, right? Growing up in a conservative Christian background, this was a big no-no. This was, devil's work, etc. But look, it's all about the intention, and this is healing, this is illuminating, this is love. So your frequency allows this exploration of these beautiful energies to be love. Very fascinating. So first out the gate, when you meet them, you will not see it coming, so don't even try to prepare for it. Source is so funny. They're just like, don't even bother to prepare. You're gonna meet him. There's no missing them. There's nothing you can do not to avoid them. When it's time for you to meet, it's time. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. And they're not what you expect, and they're not what you expect. And the foundation, you feel their frequency, because your frequency and their frequency creates a new frequency. We won't say disrupts your foundation, but it certainly shifts your foundation. You feel life will never be the same again. You just know, okay, this person is entering our life, my life, you're entering their life, and yeah, whatever your day is, whatever your foundation, whatever your experiencing of life is fundamentally about to change, and you just know it, and they know it. It doesn't scare you at all. You're very excited. Both of you are very excited for each other. But there is definitely a sense of, ooh, I'm in trouble. But in a good way. Because you feel, ooh, this person, they got me. And it's not, oh, you're under their spell. It's not now they own you. No, it's just, ooh, you can feel that your frequency beyond even your control is just going absolutely crazy for their frequency. And they're also beside themselves. It's where they were cool, calm, and collected. All of a sudden, they're shy, stumbling over their words, a bit clumsy, like, what is happening? And they're just like, oof. You're frazzled and they're frazzled. You've just frazzled each other. Oh goodness, okay, this is interesting. Okay, so this has got me in giggles. Whew, and you're both just gonna laugh a lot. There's a lot of you are. It's your frequencies are so playful, so playful, so playful because you are anchored in source. So your lives are quite. We won't say serious, but you take you take accountability of what you create. You have done the work. You've worked hard. So there is a maturity about you, right? And yet there is a very mischievous, childlike, playful innocence. Because you've done the work, and because the other one is doing the work, and because you're both honoring your work, you can both just chill out. And that is what we're receiving here. You don't have to worry, oh no, are they doing the work? Oh, are they anchoring? Oh, you don't have to worry about that. You know that they are looking after their frequency and they're doing, they have their own way of grounding, they have their own way of anchoring energies, they have their own way. It's, you don't have, they take full responsibility and full accountability of their creative power just as you, so you can actually just relax. You don't have to do a lot of work like with other people. You don't have to, oh no, here we go, meeting a new person. Are they mindful, or are they complaining, or are they in the illusion? Are they still whining? Are they still fearful? Are they still moaning? And then you have to be there, and then you have to be present, and then you have to transmute, and then so you don't have to do that work. You don't have to do that. They are just at source, as source, doing the things. Yes, they're learning and growing like you are, but there's no admin. There's no, you don't have to heal them. There's, that responsibility is not there, okay? Because you are whole and they are whole. They've done the work to be whole, and they know how to be pyrite and they're anchoring. You know how to be spirit quartz and you're anchoring. And so you can just have fun and play without having to worry about, oh, are you doing the work? Are you okay? Are you aligning? Did you do? It's like, no. And should there be some work to be done, it is very organic. Very organic. Very organic. It's very organic. It is tricky to translate that frequency into word for you all, but it's very organic. It is your energies just simply align and shift each other, but without effort. Very interesting. Okay. Within stable, both of you are at source, at physical source. You're no longer influenced by the external, so you don't have to worry about, oh no, now I have to meet their family and they now have to understand why I've released my family, and what if their family wants to meet my family but we're not really connected to our family. That's not a thing. When you share your truth with them, they get it, and they do not impose their truth upon you. Just because maybe in their journey they can remain in contact with their biological blood family or their whatever it is, and maybe you've had to release yours, it doesn't mean that they're now going to try and force you to connect because they think family is important. No, 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 no. They understand. They understand. And they are stable in it. They do not require you to be any way for them to be happy. And you don't require them to be any way for you to be happy. So you don't need them to release all their family in order for you to, So it's this honoring of paths, understanding that each path is very unique and very sacred, and that each path is source anchoring in a very unique specific way. There is no external influence. So even if maybe their parents or their family or their connections aren't necessarily as awakened, they do not let their people influence them or the relationship. So you are honored, okay, and and you honor them. You do not impose your life upon them, they do not impose their life upon you, and they do not allow others in their life to impose their beliefs upon you either. They get you, and that's enough. If their parents don't get you, it's they understand it's their parents' thing. It's not for you to try to make their parents like you. There's none of that, if that makes sense. There isn't a, you don't have to worry about, in-laws and this and that. No, it's, they know why they're with you, you know why they're with them, and that is enough. And you are a team together, and everybody else just has to deal with the team that you are together. And they can't even argue because you're such love. You are such love. Both of you are such love. Both of you allow so much happiness to each other. Both of you are so stable and healing and grounding for each other that whoever has a problem, Source is saying they're just jealous. Excuse us. Source is funny in this reading. Source is saying whoever has a problem, everybody will know it's their problem. Because whoever is who truly is loving this person or loving you. So for example, your people on your side of the family, should your family, you meet this person and you can feel the connection and you just work and you're grounded and it's beautiful. Should someone in the family have an issue with them, it's very clear for everyone to see that it's their problem, that person in the family's problem. It's not you or the partner. Because what you have together is the sun. It's beautiful. And effortlessly so. You just make sense together. So that's why this is within, the King of Coins within. You are grounded within. Your stability is within. The anchoring of the relationship is within. There isn't any external. So Source wishes you to release any fear about external energies doing whatever, or people interfering, or, oh no, but then if I meet them, I have to then meet their extended family, or if they meet me, then what if they don't like? It's like, no. If you have children, if they have children, it just works. The anchoring is just, it's a frequency resonance. It's beyond physical limitation. It's beyond physical understanding. It's beyond physical manipulation. It's beyond physical opinion. Frequency. Your frequency, their frequency, boom. It's delicious together. And it works. It's not a destructive delicious together. It's a very building. You build together. Mirroring. In the physical, the stability you have is mirrored in the physical. You don't have to fear. There's nothing you fear. You are free. You are stable. the mirror frequency is healed. There's nothing to fear. There's absolutely nothing to fear. You don't have to fear, oh, but what if it's too good to be true? What if it ends? What if we come and something else? No, whatever issue, whatever problem you have, you just overcome. It's again, if you can imagine your own singular frequency, right? If there is any hurdle along the way, you do the work, you ground, you release, you transmute. So your frequency collectively does the same. If there's a hurdle, you ground, you heal, you transmute, you move on. There's no hurdle big enough. There's nothing big enough to disturb the frequency flow. It just is. And that's because, again, we don't know how to really explain this, but your frequency and their frequency and the other frequency, if you're 2 people, 3 or more, it literally creates a whole new frequency. And that frequency is stable within itself. So you never have to fear. It's not built on illusion. So it's not forcing 2 pieces together. These pieces are just one together. They are organically one together. They're not holding on to each other out of fear of losing each other. They simply are each other. Fascinating. 9 of Wands. Long time coming is what we're receiving with the 9 of Wands. They come after the storm. They come after the storm. So they come after the storm with the 9 of Wands energy. They come after all of the cocooning and the transmuting and what you've been doing. They come afterwards. So you do not find them in a position of lack or where they are in dog night of the soul, or when you're in dog night of the soul, so you have to help each other. No. After the storm, you have done the work, they have done the work, and that's when you meet. And there's a sense of giving up here. And not that you've given up on them, but you've sort of resigned to you might be on your own. You're not looking for them. You're not seeking them. And that is why they come, because there's no resistance applied toward them. There's no idea of them tethered and projected towards them or projected towards you. Okay. Here, below with the devil, mirror frequency. It's healed. There's no restriction, there's no fear. And you go to places with them you would not normally go with others. So maybe there's some desires or some dreams or some things that you might want to dabble in, or some truths. There's some sacred spaces which you have kept only to yourself, which you do not reveal to anyone, for you are afraid it will be judged. With them, you go there. You go right there, and they go right there with you. You see all sides of them. You see all sides of them, and they see all sides of you. And all sides are within love. So there isn't a judgment. There isn't a judgment. There isn't a limitation. There isn't a restriction. They know all of the naughtiest of your naughtiest. Your baddest of the bad. They know. And you open up to that space. And it's not that, you're digging up the past, and it's not any of that. It's just, there's no shame. There's zero shame. There's zero judgment. There's zero restriction, limitation. You could look what you perceive and understand it's what you perceive. So you might look what you perceive is the worst you have ever looked, and they will just see the sun. They don't, yeah. You are just, yeah. And the same for them. They might maybe think, no, don't look at me now, or no, don't come over because I'm just a mess. And when you see them, you're like, you are just everything. I don't see a mess. What mess? What are you talking about? And it's not that they don't look after each other. It's not that they now let themselves go because you don't. It's not a I don't care, so you can get me in any way you want. It's not that kind of mess. It's more just, at times you think, oh no, I don't want to seem, I want to be this way, or I want to be that way, or this or that. No matter where you are, no matter how you are, no matter where they are, no matter how they are, they awaken within you as you awaken within them the unknown. So when you're with them, you discover so much about yourself. You learn so much about yourself you never knew about yourself when you're with them. And they learn so much about themselves they never knew about themselves when they're with you. You both awaken so much unknown information within each other. You get to know your truest self with them. They get to know their truest self with you. Or them, if it's more than one. So for those of you who are aligned with polygamy, just know when we do say them, or we don't necessarily mean one person. We include your frequencies. Okay, so just be open in that energy. We're just easier for communication when we just whatever comes through first. Okay. They awaken magic, and you awaken magic. It's incredibly healing and profoundly deep, this relationship. Profoundly deep. You need not say words, and you activate each other. You activate each other. You shift each other's foundation. You transform each other. You awaken each other. Your frequencies create sparks of awakening and healing and integration and activation and illumination together, which is why the healing need not be efforted or active. You simply do that organically. Very telepathic communication. You just look into each other's eyes and you know. Not even look. You literally almost send a feeling, a vibration toward them, and they'll pick it up. and they'll know. They will just know what you sent, and their response is the perfect response to what you sent. They might even know what you want before you even know what you want. And you might pick up on maybe what they want or require before they even know. And in the moment of offering each other this unknown exchange of wants and desires, that's when they're like, oh goodness, thank you. This is exactly what I feel. How did you know? And they will just know. Overall energy, Ace of Coins and the Sun. There it is again. You know your worth, you know your value. They know their worth, they know their value. You are centered in your truth, they are centered in their truth. But what's more with this Ace of Coins is, goodness, they see your worth and your value like no other. Just as you see their worth and their value like no other. Like no other. The way in which you appreciate each other, the way you honor each other, they're your biggest cheerleader, and you're their biggest cheerleader. And it's not codependent. You don't require them, because you're your own cheerleader and they're their own cheerleader. Okay, they're very independent. You are very independent, but goodness, they think the world of you and you think the world of them, and they do not understand how anyone could ever treat you the way that anyone has. And the same goes to them for you. Because you share everything together in terms of who you are and where you're from, and you just really want to know everything about each other. And so in that sharing of information, you are shocked and they're shocked at how people could have possibly treated you or them that way, when to them you are just precious, and to you they are precious. Precious. You are precious to each other. And it doesn't mean that it's, delusional. I mean, you take accountability, they take accountability for actions, You don't excuse unwanted behavior. So you're not delusional and like, oh no, they can do no wrong. It's not that kind of delusional preciousness. It is, you really see their worth. They really see your worth. And because you take accountability of your own frequency as they do, you hardly ever do anything that is untoward, or that is negative, or that is tarnishing or harmful to either to them or to yourself. You hardly ever have an argument. That's just not the way. If there is something that does not resonate, you both find harmony. You respect each other a great deal. A great deal. And in that respect, there is great freedom. You do not tiptoe around each other. You never tiptoe around each other. You are just really authentic as it is. Peacock, right? The peacock, full feathers, bah, here I am. And they're the same, bah, here I am. And yet in that full expression of yourselves, great honoring, great respect, great tenderness, great care, great love. And a respect of each other's paths. They understand that you are here to create your own frequency, which has nothing to do with them. And you understand they're here to create their own frequency, which has nothing to do with you. So you are not possessive, and you haven't decided that they must stop their world to now create for you. Your energies just work together harmoniously. Your lives work together harmoniously. Wherever they are, you are a vibrational perfect match for them. Wherever you are, you're a perfect vibrational match for them. It's harmony. One does not need to compromise on the other for the other to be. You can both be full. You can both be full and work. And it's going to feel like magic, we feel. That's what it's going to feel like. It's going to feel quite like magic, because it's this energy of, how is it that our two worlds just work in synchronicity, and it doesn't feel like I need to shift out of my world in order for your world to fit in, or you have to shift out of your world for my world to fit in. Because that is what Source is saying, is almost the apprehensiveness. You're thinking, I've just come into Source, just discovered my truth, just about to now start creating a whole new world. I have no time to give this other energy focus or attention, or to now redirect what I'm doing for another person, right? And Source is saying, there is absolutely no need for that. You just work. You are both incredibly healing to each other, and you're incredibly healing together to the world. Together you create a whole new frequency, and wow, it's powerful. People honor you and your beauty and your power individually. People honor them and their beauty and their power individually. You've both had lives in your own separate lives where people have honored you individually for your work, for your healing, for your beauty, for your love, for everything. And when you come together, people are over both of you. It's like, no, now you're just showing off. Now you're just showing off. Because together your frequency is just next level, next level. Your energies heal together so beautifully, so passionately, and so powerfully. When you're both healers. No matter what you do, you are all healers. So when you both sit down to intentionally heal another being, so maybe you're having somebody who's going to visit, or maybe you both have a healing practice, or whatever it is, and somebody comes in for a healing or a meditation. When you meditate with that person, it's powerful, it's wonderful, it's everything. When they meditate with that person, it's powerful, it's wonderful, it's everything. When you both meditate with that person, wow. It doesn't take away from your individual meditation. That's still powerful. It still does all the work. But there is something about when you both heal together, which is just, we have no word to describe it. People feel this. People feel this when they're in your presence. It's like, woo. People will literally say, who are you? What are you together? Like, where are you from? What are you? What is that energy? What is that? Do you feel that? What is that energy we feel about? What are you two? That is what people are going to just, or three or four. That is how people are going to feel your energy. Like, what? Goosebumps. Why do I have goosebumps when, what's going on? Who are you both? And people just don't know what to do with themselves when they're around you two. Very interesting. And it's not uncomfortable. It's just, wow. And only those who are envious will then be released from your frequency. because they just can't stand how brightly you both shine, and they take it as a personal reflection on their own limitations. However, you both don't require anything else. And it doesn't mean that you are now, again, codependent and toxic, that you don't have friends. You will have other people. The people right now that you have right now who you gravitate towards, who you love, they'll still be there, and they're the ones who will appreciate both of you together. They will love both of you together. They will love spending time with both of you together. They will probably steal your partner to spend time with them. They'll be like, okay, it's time for me to go to the beach with, with whoever it is, because I want to spend the day with them. So it's very much this very loving and fun and playful space where they get along with your soul people, you get along with their soul people. It's just really harmonious, right? And yet you don't require anything more than just the stillness of you two together, because the stillness of you two together is similar to the stillness of you on your own. You feel quite in your own frequency, alone, at peace within their presence. They do not feel overwhelming. There's never a time when you think, oh, I need to be alone because it's too... No. You already have that sense of aloneness with them there, because they do not disrupt your frequency and you do not disrupt their frequency. You don't exhaust their frequency. They don't exhaust your frequency. So beautiful beings. This is what we understand as love making. You are source in your truth, you are love. They are source in their truth, they are love. Together, you are love. And when you are intimate together, you are literally creating the frequency of love. No matter how it manifests, okay? Whether it is a romantic wine and dine or a very naughty, sneaky little quickie, it's still the making of love. So you don't have to put that heaviness of, oh, we have to now make it an official ceremony. No. Source is saying you honor each other at all times. Whether it is on a romantic getaway, full-on violins and swans and everything flying in the background, to a naughty little sneaky while you're at an event, quickie somewhere where nobody will catch you. It just feels aligned. It is not, there's no disrespect, there's no dishonoring of anything, how it manifests and because again, with them you don't hold back, okay? With them, every single fantasy you've ever wanted to explore with them, you will, and vice versa, and you will enjoy every single thing you do. There's no limitation, and it's not a destructive, there's no limitation. It's a very much honoring and respectful, and yet you are very, very free to explore all that you are. In terms of timing, Source says your soul, and Source says it is literally divine timing. What's for sure is that you won't see it coming. You are gonna be very like, yeah, you just won't see it coming. But when they're there, you will know. There's no mistaking it. And you're not going to be confused, okay? There's no confusion about whether you like them or not. Source is saying none of you like playing these games, you know? For you, once you're in the relationships, let the games begin. That's when you find the excitement and the fun, when there's no guesswork. Do they like me? I don't know. Are they liking me? Are they going to call back? Source says that's boring, that's tedious, that's admin, that's not fun. So that energy is not there. You will know, and they will know, because there's no mistaking the forces coming together when you both come together. But in terms of, if you're asking when, Source is saying it is literally when aligned, because it's about frequency, right? It's not about desperation. It's not about I need them. It's not about... So if you are still in that space of requiring them to be, then they're more likely not going to come, because that means you are holding them responsible for your well-being. Codependency is assured. This is not possible. This is only possible when you literally do not require them at all. It doesn't mean you don't want them or want someone. It just means you are very much, very present, very happy, very much at peace within your frequency. And don't worry, Source is saying, some of you are saying, oh no, because some days, some weeks you're really good, and sometimes you just have an off day. So does that off day mean that I have, manifested? No, not that. Not that. Of course, you'll have a day when you just miss your partner, because you already feel each other. You already are there, and you're already in each other's frequencies. You're in your frequency. Your frequency calls their frequency. Their frequency calls your frequency. The combination of your frequency, that is what you're feeling already. So yes, of course, there are some days when you're like, oh, I really am ready and I'm missing that person already. You miss them before you've even met them, right? And that's okay. That's quite natural. That's different from... I have to do this in order to meet them, because I have to put myself out there every single day and do this on social media in order to meet. That's a very different energy. There's no efforting required for this. Goodness, you both absolutely love each other completely, but it's powerful how you love yourself and they love themselves completely too. There isn't you do not displace your love of self for them. You do not dishonor yourself for them. You do not discredit and compromise yourself for them. You do not diminish yourself for them. You remain in your power, and then they remain in their power, and then you don't have to create a role. They don't have to need you in order for you to provide. They don't need to be the provider or the safekeeper. You don't require anyone to keep you safe. You don't require anyone to provide for you. There's no requirement for a role. They don't need to play a role. You simply discover that which you are together. And yes, they will intuitively provide as you will intuitively provide. They will intuitively be there as you will intuitively be there. It's just a harmony, a flow, a resonance. It's not these man-made designated roles, which we have all seen keep people in incredibly abusive and loveless relationships in order to prove how many years people can remain together. It's weird how humans have formulated relationships out of fear. And we no longer create there. You do not. Source is saying we wished for you to understand, or rather to integrate this. This in itself is an activation, and this in itself is interesting. Source is saying this in itself is a beacon. A beacon. So now that you have watched this and you've received this vibrational frequency, it's almost like a GPS pinpoint to you. They feel you now more than ever before, as you will feel them more than ever before in the days and weeks to follow. And when the timing is right, you will meet and enjoy, for you deserve this. You really, really do. As they do. Deserve you too. Blessed be.